Welcome to Caspeck Watches. My name is Tim, and in this episode I'd like to speak about Kickstarter and the big question, is it worth it for us as watch buyers, as watch aficionados? How to tell if a watch on Kickstarter is worth it? And before I get into the topic, let me tell you a little bit about this channel. In the last weeks, I've recently have read that comment, great channel, great video, but you should have more subscribers. But you know what? I'm really happy with my over 6,000 subscribers. I mean, I'm doing this now for 14 or 15 months, and I'm really excited about those over 6,000 people. And I want to take the opportunity to thank everybody who subscribes to this channel. It's a great help. It's encouraging, and it makes things so much easier for me here. And there's another sign that makes me optimistic. And those are letters from companies. I think it started 6 months ago that companies write me letters and emails, not the big brands, of course, smaller brands, entrepreneurs, Kickstarter projects. And of course, they want me to advertise their watches, to sell their watches. And this is not my idea for Caspeck Watches. And so, I mean, never say never. If there is in the future a model which really convinces me, then I will certainly do it. But then I will tell you my honest opinion about that. But this makes me optimistic. And the last letters came from people on Kickstarter. And so the idea today is to present you 2 examples of Kickstarter watches. And we can then examine with those examples, is it worth it? But little foray here, you know what Kickstarter is. If not, let me give you a quick explanation. Kickstarter is a platform for collecting money. You present your project to the masses and you say, I will produce that watch, it will retail at 400, but if you buy it now prior to the production, then you only have to pay 300. Early bird models, such a thing. And there's a little bet in it, of course. I mean, you have a huge discount and you can buy that future watch very cheap, and maybe it's the next big thing. And then you're the lucky guy. This is Kickstarter in easy words. And there are some issues, some challenges, we have to call it, but you can call it problems as well. A watch on Kickstarter, or a watch manufacturer, a young manufacturer on Kickstarter, has no heritage, no tradition, no history, and so this means no reputation whatsoever. He has no reputation zero. And so if you are on Kickstarter as a manufacturer, you have to convince your audience, your future buyers, with your design. You need a really brilliant, good-looking, distinctive design. Second, you have to convince your audience with functionality, with a great timepiece without any issues. You have to guarantee that prior to the production. And lastly, you can convince people if you say, my watch can be a substitute for another certain timepiece which is not longer available. I'm thinking here of certain vintage pieces which are sometimes really desirable, but nobody wants that fuss, those issues and those watchmaker builds. And I mean, if you want to buy yourself a Universal Genève Compax from the 40s, then you pay 3,000 or more for a train wreck. They are not longer available in good condition, let's face it. And so if your Kickstarter project then can substitute such a timepiece, good for you. Okay, but now let's go to our examples. Let's speak about Baltic first. I think you have heard the brand Baltic. I think they're French people, and they launched their campaign on Kickstarter 2017. And they wanted to produce, and they have done this, of course, a classic, rather small chronograph inspired by chronographs from the 30s and 40s, which, as I said, are not longer available in good condition at a reasonable price point. And so they had one plus immediately, linked to tradition, linked to history. Second, design. They had a very distinctive design. I mean, this is always arguable. You can say, oh, no, it's not for me, and I don't like it. But in my humble opinion, they have done a marvelous job with that design. It was a very good, or in fact, it is a very, very good looking watch, and it's very easy to recognize that particular timepiece. Next thing is the functionality. I've owned a Baltic for a couple of weeks, and I really enjoyed the functionality. It was easy to operate, hand winding was a pleasure, and they've chosen the movement, the Seagull ST 1901, if I recall correctly. And you can say, well, it's a Chinese-made cheap movement. Yes, but it's a 100% copy, as I know, of the Venus 175, which was seen as a great, reliable and very well made movement. And so in my opinion, functionality was there. The watch was without any flaw and malfunctions. The strap was shit, to be frank. The strap was horrible, but the watch itself was from the technical side was a very well made timepiece. So this was the next plus. And all those pluses lead to a mission you can understand immediately. The mission was crystal clear. They said, we want to give you access to a vintage watch experience. And they've done this. This was their USP, their unique selling proposition. So it was very easy to understand why you should buy that watch. And people bought that watch. I bought mine for Christmas and I wore it, I think, 2 weeks and I really enjoyed it. And then I bought it, I sold it on a forum, if I recall correctly. And this was in January. And still today I receive every week an email and somebody wants to buy that watch. Is it still available? Is it still available? And I have to say, no, very sorry. And the used market is empty. You will not find that bi-complex, I don't know. You will not find that particular chronograph made by Baltic on the used market. And so in my opinion, great success for Baltic. And as I said, the success was predictable. Everything was on the table. And so if you see the next Baltic, then yeah, maybe it's a good idea to be the early bird. Next example, Kronhauser. German manufacturer, they've sent me an email a few weeks ago and they asked for my opinion. And yeah, I will present you my opinion on their website, or let's say on the Kickstarter website. Let's make a little tour. Okay, welcome on the German Kickstarter page. This is all in German, but we don't have to read much here, and I will translate the key sentences here. But first, let's have a look. Here you can see the design. And at first glance, I can tell you this is a very conventional design. Anything super special here? Let's zoom in a little bit. And here you are. What kind of style is it? Is it Bauhaus? I would say no. I don't know what this is, to be frank. Very legible, yeah, but very average. Sorry guys, very average. And the logo reminds me of Eterna with five dots. Here you have 6. Okay, but now let's find the unique selling proposition. Let's find the reason why we should buy that watch. Let's find the mission behind it. And I will show you this here. Here's the claim: timeless in every moment. Okay, this is a little bit average, people. And let's check this, our vision. I mean, we can see this as the mission statement. Our vision: a mechanical timepiece so powerful and timeless and likable like no one else. A charming companion with a clear and direct approach, with a healthy self-esteem and an extra portion of reliability. A unique friend to share moments. The result: the Kronhauser automatic watch. Guys, I mean, the mission statement or this vision could have been written by any manufacturer in the solar system. So there's not a single fresh word in it. Very sorry, I'm not here to bash that company and those people, but this, in my opinion, is not enough. Let's go over the features. Here you have a blue dial. All right, I get it. Or look at this here. This is, I don't know why they have done this. Here you can see the loop, and they say the loop is good for the legibility and is the key feature of our design. There's another company who did that 70 years ago, and the company is called Rolex. And so I don't know if this really is a fresh design key feature. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad looking timepiece. Absolutely not. You can find some nice aspects on this watch. What's missing here is the reason why it has to be this watch. This retails at 400. If I want a watch in that region, then I think I could buy something else with reputation and mission and everything behind it. And so why I don't see the reason to buy that watch. I smell anxiety here. Maybe sometimes it's bad if a young company has good engineers and has the capability to produce good watches from a technical viewpoint. Look at this. Very good, very well made. I think very capable people. But you know, you need something more. You need more bravery to produce a really desirable timepieces, timeless in every moment. My goodness, this is not a vision. This is not a vision, guys. But let's be fair, they have reached their target. They've collected 12,000 800 euros, which makes roughly 14,000 US dollars. They will produce that watch. They are successful with it. So maybe I'm totally wrong here. And maybe this is the beginning of a very successful story, but my prediction is they will sell a few of those watches and then the used market is packed with them. 40 millimeters, I mean, this is, everything's okay. The movement is a Miyota. I mean, okay, arguable, not a bad movement, but sapphire crystal, everything okay, everything fine, but where's the bravery, where's the fresh approach here? Okay, that's all about Kickstarter. Little announcement. I'm starting to like Instagram more and more, and I share there more smaller informations or bits of entertainment. You know, sometimes you have something interesting, but it's too small for YouTube. It's too small for 10-minute video, but it's funny or it's interesting. And so if you like, join me there. Case back Tim. And now let me thank you very much for your attention and maybe until next time.